Yeah, because I get it like I'm always saying about do what thou wilt. Love is the only law. If everybody is moving from their highest self-confidence, like there's no need for me to put you down for me to feel better. Why? Because I'm already being the best me that I can be. Like because I know from the time I'm born that I'm not only allowed but I'm capable, I'm supported. Like all around me, everything is telling me be all you can be. Yeah. So when you have systemic messaging that keeps telling you you ain't shit, nigga. That messes with your self-confidence, and you end up being the type of person that makes bad decisions, and then that also creates its own spiral where, now at some point you're so filled with shame and guilt where you end up thinking, well, maybe everybody was right. I ain't shit, nigga.
Why even bother?
Why do you think it's not a bigger thing?
A bigger thing than what?
Why do you think, let me say, all these methods of boosting if having it as a global practice to affirm oneself like habitually would make such a massive impact and to affirm each other?
Why isn't it trending?
Why do you think it's not?
Because we've lived. I get it, like you and I have had this conversation before. We're talking about how currently we're at the cusp of a civilizational shift, right? For the longest time, we've seen how to do it through domination. For the first time, we're talking about collaboration, which is why it matters how what I did affects the other person. That's why, like, our empathy, even if it's fake rage sometimes, is at an all-time high. Because that's why you even have movements like Believe Her, because it's about that collaboration type of vibe. And you know, you and I have read things across the years about how sometimes it has to do with the stars and the ages change, and this is just that age, it's the age of Aquarius, where understanding and harmonizing is more important than being right and winning and dominating. Because the truth is, any one of us can make ourselves right. But if you find someone in a corner that psychology tells you, even the fact that phenomena like Stockholm Syndrome exist, suggests that anyone can really literally mess with somebody else's mind to a point where you believe that your captor is your savior. Your bully is your protector. What?
Speaking of the Believe Her movements and all of that, you and I got into a crazy
argument,
WhatsApp scuffle.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't.
You didn't finish reading it.
You didn't finish reading it. I wanted to ask you in person what you thought about that whole thing.
Me? I think I made my thoughts quite clear in the group that I wasn't having it. Like I feel like as important as it is that now we're in the collaborative era where we give everyone a chance, right? Or we hear everyone out. It means, or especially because if you look at any revolution that's ever happened, right after the revolution or just as the revolution takes hold, then you have counter-revolutionaries. And I feel like sometimes the social justice people find themselves acting like reactionaries. They're doing the same things that we have been fighting against. Like all the oppressive ways that we have been silenced and bullied, they're using the same ways, which is shame, guilt. Like I no longer, like once I've labeled you something, I no longer even have to contend with your arguments. I no longer have to talk to you as a human being. Like once I say you're a rapist, you're off the table. Let me talk to everyone else who's not a rapist. Once I say you're a racist, let me talk to everyone else who's not a racist. You know what I'm saying? As if what people do is gonna change whether they agree with you or not. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I'm worried about. Is I would never want us to be in an era where we don't know how to debate productively, because we're counter-reactionaries now. The same way we used to be silenced as kids, whether it was at home and you were just told you're a child, you don't know anything, shut up.
But that's how trauma transfers, right? Like, Even the, you know, even the form, and you can even see it like in African governments. You know what I'm saying? Like after they liberate,
they topple the oppressive.
After they topple the oppressive regime, they
become the oppressive. They become the oppressive regime. But for me, that's why I feel like it's so important for those of us that claim to be about justice, right? It has to be about justice, never vengeance, right? I can't be on this side of the fence because I want revenge on all of my bullies. You know what I'm saying? Like, the revenge on my bullies must come from them feeling and knowing that they were wrong, because the whole world is telling them you were wrong. Because that's what happened in our country. That's how apartheid ended, when people started boycotting and sanctioning us and hitting the country where it hurts, where the whole world was like, nah, y'all are wrong, fam. Y'all are wrong. Overseas. They didn't have to come to South Africa and shame and guilt them. They just got together and were like, okay, this is what's happening. Is this okay for human beings at this time and era? And people were like, no, it's not. And that was it. So we need to move like that. Like, our arguments need to be clear. See, we can get emotional about the debate, right? But our arguments don't have to be clear and logical. Because if they're not, then it's just dogma. You're presenting your feelings as facts. And that's dangerous. That's what every authoritarian regime does, is they present their feelings as fact. And then everybody is forced to play along with that. And that ain't true. That, like, come on, man. We should be further along as thinkers than that. Because we've seen what all those authoritarian type of stuff do. Like, we've seen every regime, it comes through. They try to make us believe things which aren't true. And that leads to a lot of disillusion. And that's why our country is like a hotspot for scammers. Because we're such a disillusioned country. It's easy to it's easy to delude someone who is disillusioned.
So I think to like bring whoever might listen to it in, like there's like a poetry WhatsApp group on WhatsApp. And basically in that group, some people were, because at the time of this recording, Kobe just passed away, Kobe Bryant. And there was a lot of outpouring of love and like sort of empathy for him and his family and that kind of a thing. So someone posted something similar in the group, just kind of, you know, feeling for the family, like, you know, like
shouting out the legend, Mamba.
Shouting out the Black Mamba, yeah. And then someone replied very like passionately, that how dare you post a rapist in this group? How dare you post a rapist in this group? And I'm gonna leave, and you guys are insensitive. This is horrible. How dare you even do this? And then people kind of came down on her like a ton of bricks, like know your place, fam. First and foremost.
And just to make it clear, like, that's what I'm laughing at is her reaction and the reaction that it sparked. Like, obviously rape is not funny. Obviously it's not even just about the era. We are in the era of believer, like but I like what Charlemagne the God says, because he's like, listen to all women but believe all proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, if any one of my sisters has to come to me and be like, yo, my mom did something to me, I'm gonna listen to you, right? But ultimately, what I'm gonna do next is gonna be based on the proof, the facts.
And if she can't prove it?
That's up to the Lord now, because what is my role? I cannot listen to you, right? But if I do something based on what you told me, then what kind of society do we have? Because if I'm just gonna go on the feeling that I feel because you told me something, then I'm not being a rational human being, am I? Because then it means like I can be an accomplice to something like to an atrocity, which is what's happened in the past. Like, white people could just be told, oh, these blacks are dangerous, and if we don't kill them now, they're gonna kill us. And then a white person who's never met a black person just joins ranks because I'm gonna show up for my tribe.
This is what I've been taught.
You understand why that type of thinking is dangerous? We've seen what it leads to. So I can't just come to you and be like, Kobe's a rapist, so we must denounce Kobe. Like, if the lady in the group had come to me and been like, Kobe raped me, I would have been like, oh snap, that's so tragic. I wasn't aware that this guy did this to you. And then I would ask, what happened? Like, in the most empathetic way, so that I know, okay, before I throw in my vote with her, we've studied the facts. You dig? Yeah. That's all I was saying. Let's bring the facts, fam.
But I think like